Listen to me very carefully. No matter what you do, people will criticize you. That's the reality. If you train and take care of your body, they'll call you shallow. If you don't, they'll call you lazy. If you dress up, you're showing off. If you dress simply, you're poor. Speak your mind. You're rude. Stay silent. You're a coward. Do you see the pattern here? No matter which path you take, someone will always have something to say. So why waste your time living for them? Why let their opinions shape your life? The harsh truth is this: you only get one life, and if you spend it trying to please everyone else, you'll end up pleasing no one, including yourself. The problem isn't what people think of you. It's what you think of yourself. Most people live their lives trapped by the fear of judgment, always looking over their shoulder, always second-guessing their decisions. They let the opinions of others dictate their actions, their goals, their entire existence. But let me tell you this: the moment you stop living for others is the moment you truly start living. Think about it. If you knew how quickly you'd be forgotten after death, would you still care so much about what others think? Would you still waste your energy trying to impress people who won't even remember you a year from now? Life is fleeting. Your time is precious. Every moment you spend worrying about someone else's opinion is a moment you'll never get back. Criticism is inevitable. It's the price of existence. But here's the kicker. The people who criticize you are rarely the ones doing better than you. They're not the ones pushing boundaries, taking risks, or living boldly. No. The loudest critics are almost always the ones who are stuck, scared, and bitter. They're projecting their own insecurities onto you because it's easier than facing their own shortcomings. So why would you let those people have power over you? Why would you give them a say in how you live your life? Think about the strongest, most successful people you admire. Do you think they care about what the crowd says? Of course not. They live on their terms. They understand that greatness requires a level of selfishness, not in the sense of harming others, but in the sense of prioritizing their own vision over the noise around them. Let me break it down for you. Living for yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary. It's about understanding that your life is yours to live, not theirs to critique. It's about having the courage to make choices that align with your values, your goals, and your happiness, even if those choices aren't popular. The world is full of people who will try to put you in a box. They'll try to label you, define you, limit you. If you don't fight against that, you'll end up living a life that isn't yours. You'll end up following their script instead of writing your own. And when it's all said and done, the only person who will regret that is you. Let's talk about criticism for a moment. Most people fear it because they see it as a reflection of their worth. But here's the truth. Criticism is just noise. It's an opinion, not a fact. And opinions are as common as they are worthless. Everyone has one. But that doesn't mean you have to listen. When you live for yourself, you stop being a slave to validation. You stop looking for approval from people who don't matter. You stop caring about whether your choices make sense to them because you know they make sense to you. That's freedom. That's power. But let's not sugarcoat it. Living for yourself isn't easy. It requires strength, resilience, and a willingness to stand alone. It means accepting that not everyone will like you, not everyone will understand you, not everyone will support you. But guess what? That's okay. You don't need their approval to succeed. You don't need their understanding to be happy. The fear of judgment is a prison. It keeps you small, keeps you quiet, keeps you from stepping into your full potential. But here's the thing. The bars of that prison aren't real. They're imaginary. The only thing keeping you locked inside is your belief in them. The moment you stop caring about what others think is the moment you break free. Let me give you an example. Think about the people who've made a real impact in this world. The inventors, the leaders, the visionaries. Do you think they were free from criticism? Do you think they didn't face judgment, ridicule, or doubt? Of course they did. But they didn't let it stop them. They didn't let it define them. They lived for something bigger than approval. They lived for themselves, for their vision, for their purpose. And that's the key. Purpose. When you have a purpose, criticism becomes irrelevant. When you're focused on your mission, the noise fades away. Purpose gives you clarity, direction, and strength. It reminds you why you started and keeps you moving forward, even when the world tries to pull you back. But here's the catch. Finding your purpose requires self-awareness. It requires knowing who you are, what you want, and what you stand for. That's why living for yourself is so important. You can't find your purpose if you're too busy living for others. Living for yourself doesn't mean ignoring others. It means prioritizing yourself. It means understanding that you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're constantly sacrificing your own needs, desires, and goals to make others happy, you'll end up drained, resentful, and unfulfilled. Living for yourself is about filling your own cup first, so you have the energy, strength, and resources to give to others without losing yourself in the process. Let's address the elephant in the room. What about love? What about relationships? Doesn't living for yourself make you selfish? Doesn't it push people away? The answer is no. In fact, the opposite is true. When you live for yourself, you attract people who respect you, who align with your values, and who support your vision. You build relationships based on mutual respect, not codependence. Living for yourself isn't about isolation, it's about authenticity. It's about being true to who you are so you can build genuine connections with others. When you live for yourself, you set the standard for how others should treat you. You teach them that your worth isn't up for debate, that your boundaries aren't negotiable, and that your life isn't a democracy. Here's a hard truth. Most people are too scared to live for themselves. They're too scared to stand out, to take risks, to face criticism. They settle for a life of mediocrity because it's safe, because it's familiar, because it's easy. But let me ask you this. Is that the life you want? Do you want to look back and realize you spent your entire existence trying to fit in, trying to be liked, trying to avoid conflict? Or do you want to look back and say, I lived on my terms. I took risks. I followed my heart. I became the person I was meant to be. The choice is yours. Living for yourself is an act of courage. It's a declaration that your life is yours and yours alone. It's a commitment to prioritize your happiness, your growth, and your dreams above all else. And it's a reminder that the opinions of others are just that. Opinions. They don't define you. They don't limit you. And they sure as hell don't control you. So stop worrying about what they think. Stop living for their approval. Stop letting their criticism hold you back. Live boldly. Live authentically. And most importantly, live for yourself. Because at the end of the day, the only opinion that truly matters is your own.